Hey heroes, Jonathan here at Night Knowledge. In today's video, I'm going to show you what Helldivers 2 is about, why it's so hot right now, and why it's the game of the year for tons of players. Because I was definitely skeptical for a long time, but only after playing 2 missions, I now regret I didn't start right at launch, and think many of you might be missing out on a gem of a game. Helldivers 2 is an action online 1 to 4 player co-op PvE shooter available for Steam and PlayStation 5 with crossplay and in-game chat. Have you seen the movie or game adaptation of Starship Troopers? You're basically a human grunt, not Master Chief. This also isn't like Outriders or Destiny where you have special mystical abilities either, just guns and technology. After the basic training tutorial, you're given your own spaceship and you can explore the galactic map in search of missions to push back the 2 main enemy factions, the Terminids, the classic large bug swarms, and the Automatons, a robot faction. You can use matchmaking to join other people's games or create your own pre-made teams and set it to friends only if you're so inclined. This is an online-only game with the anti-cheat program and Protect. When selecting missions, you'll be able to see whether it's during the day or at nighttime, which may affect your choices because it's definitely easier to see your enemies during the day. There are a few different mission types including Escort, where you protect civilians to evacuate to a certain area while under fire from enemies, or straight out Bug Hunt, where you have to defeat X amount of enemies. Either way, when you're on planet, you can bring up your wristwatch map and you'll be able to see and ping main objectives, enemy spawn locations, points of interest, and the extraction zone, which can help plan the route you'll take. Speaking of spawn locations, you'll need to destroy them, otherwise they'll periodically spawn an infinite number of enemies. They also have the ability to sound the alarm and call more of their allies to them. Typically, you can use a grenade or an airstrike to destroy such generators. Destroying these locations and doing the side objectives is worth it, as it'll give you experience and credits at the end of the match. You'll be rewarded for more teammates that extract together, and the faster you complete the mission as well. Missions give you war bonds, a currency used to unlock special gear as well. Let's look at all the different things you can unlock, starting with the ship management screen right here. You can go to the stratagem page where you use standard credits to unlock different kinds of support guns, orbital strikes, airstrikes, tech gear, and turrets. At any time during a mission, so long as you have the charges and it's not on cooldown, you can use a stratagem to call it down from your ship. What makes this a unique process is that you need to enter a unique combination of keys, up, down, left, and right, to be able to call a stratagem, which may be difficult in busy battles. Stratagems are level locked, with the last ones being unlocked at level 20. When you go into a mission, you'll only be able to select 4 of these stratagems. The strategy here is to coordinate them with your teammates and what is best for the enemy type and mission. You can equip more than one type of stratagem. For example, on defense missions, I'll equip at least the Gatling turret and the mortar turret. Other players may do the same, which may be both beneficial or detrimental to the mission. The ship module tab costs special resources called samples, which you'll find on the ground in missions. When you die, you'll actually drop them, so you'll want to pick them up afterwards. Ship modules provide passive buffs to your stratagems and require the previous module to unlock more advanced versions. There are currently 3 kinds of special resources which only become available at higher difficulties. As you can see, I've unlocked the Synthetic Supplementation Engineering Bay module because I like deploying turrets, so this will decrease the cooldown by 10%. The next main area of progression is by going to the Acquisition Center, which for PCs is the R key. You'll use your war bonds that you earn at the end of certain missions to unlock all sorts of gear. So like new standard guns, grenades, emotes, capes, and armor. Note that the body armor has stats to them. So on page 1, you can unlock the Infiltrator body armor, which decreases your armor but increases your speed and stamina regeneration and provides additional scout passives. So these armors are like different classes. There are currently 10 pages of Warbond unlocks, and you'll need to spend a certain amount of them to buy from more advanced pages. Now, one way that the devs have decided to make money is to have a premium pass, which you can get by buying the deluxe version or by buying it separately with super credits, which is approximately $15 Canadian. Super credits is something you can unlock with the normal Warbonds progression pages or with real money. And just like the basic progression page, you can unlock the same kinds of things: armors, guns, grenades, and so forth. While you can still win and succeed without paying this extra money, the premium Warbond gear does look powerful, so you'll need to make up your own mind whether to get it or not. But basically, if you love the game and is the only game in your rotation, it's probably likely worth it. Next to the Warbonds tab is the Superstore, where you can use super credits to unlock daily items. From my limited playing, it seems to be only armors and helmets that you unlock. And the armors are just different skins of other armors that you can unlock through the Warbond screen. Once again, it's up to you to determine whether this is pay to win, but to me, it just means I can get an armor earlier than a person that unlocks it through the Warbond progression. Let's now look at the armory in your ship. The first tab is the weaponry screen, where you pick your primary and secondary guns and grenade, all which you unlock in the Warbonds progression. In missions, you might find weapons on the ground, which you can use for that mission only, or your allies may let you use their weapon stratagem drops. Both you or your allies drop all their weapons and gear when they die, so yet another opportunity to try different gear if they don't mind. The Armory tab is next, super simple. Select your type of armor, helmet, and cape. Right now, from what I've seen, the helmet and cape do not provide any bonuses. The Character tab allows you to change your body type, voice, emote, victory pose, player card, and title. The Booster tab shows off the boosters you've unlocked in the Warbonds progression, which are team-wide buffs that cannot be stacked. Finally, the Career tab shows your game stats. The last station in your ship is the Galactic War Table, where the host will select the difficulty, location, and mission. Once selected, there will be an alert to get ready for the dive. And when players go in, the first tab shows the battle map, where you can plan your strategy and route together. The host selects the drop location on the map, and then all players will select their loadout, including stratagems and boosters, hopefully coordinating with each other. In most missions, all you have to do is survive, complete the main objective, and extract. And some are as simple as that and could be less than 10 minutes long. Other missions have a longer time limit and gives you many side objectives, enemy outposts, and point of interest that can net you some good loot. You'll notice in the top left of the screen the number of lives your team has, because you can often get one-shotted and you'll drop down in a new clone body. And that is basically Helldivers 2 in a nutshell, a cooperative, third-person view shooter of up to 4 players. It gives you a ton of flexibility of how and what you complete and how you play. While it can be played solo, it's one of those games that is just that much better playing with friends or good players. It definitely requires cooperation, coordination, and communication to succeed, and can be ruined with some trolls. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions on the game, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Check out the rest of my channel for other videos on Helldivers 2, video games, board games, and other fun things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.